Hello to my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. All right, Capricorns, let's get right on into it. Hopefully you all are having a happy Friday or a great Friday, wonderful Friday, a peaceful Friday, a wonderful Friday. I believe that the moon is in your sign, right? And so that would affect your back, your skin, your I feel like your hair. That's everybody, by the way, not just you. It's just the moon just happens to be in your sign, so. I believe the moon is in your sign. So for those of you all who like to follow the moon phases, it does affect parts of everybody's body. And that's the parts of the body. It affects your backbone, your joints, your knees, your skin, your hair, right? And of course, you all are ruled by Saturn. So a lot of people are having Saturn returns. And those are just major life changes, right? So just trying to close out cycles. And we just had a full moon in Scorpio, full flower moon in Scorpio. So a lot of seeds are being planted, but you got to make sure you're pulling up the weeds, right? So meaning that you're making room to plant some brand new seeds if you want some beautiful flowers to grow in your life, right? So if you want your money to grow, some people, places, and things you may not be able to hang around anymore. If they're speaking lack and you're trying to grow your money, you may not be able to hang out with certain people who are speaking lack. So that may not be the easiest thing for some people. If you're trying to, grow your vocabulary, you could be, you're trying to grow your spiritual knowledge, whatever. But new and exciting love awaits for somebody. So I think I told y'all one time I was watching this podcast, this billionaire guy. Remember, money is just energy, so I'm just saying billionaire because he just happens to be a billionaire, right? But this guy was talking about how he was he was about to do a business deal with this guy, and the guy was talking about he was cheating on his wife, and he said, and that was a deal breaker for him. He said even though they were doing business, the fact that the guy was talking about he was cheating on his wife, that was a deal breaker for him. He was like, if he's gonna cheat on the person he lies next to every single night, he was like, he's not gonna do business with him. That was for him in his mind. He was like, he would cheat on the person he lies next to in bed. Because he was talking about how he does everything with excellence. That's how he became wealthy. He just doesn't have time is money. He doesn't have time to be trying to manage multiple relationships, trying to get rest and trying to keep up with this and that. He just manages his time very, very well. He doesn't have time for all of that. So he likes to be enlightened. I guess what he was saying is like he likes to be enlightened about things. So anyway, my point to you, that came back to me, but new requires releasing some old stuff, releasing some old things. And you all are a very structured zodiac sign, right? So you all like steps. You don't like when people keep you in the dark about things. And so it's one thing to not know, but it's another thing to know and people intentionally not tell you things, right? So I believe that some people don't, and nobody knows everything, right? So 7-11, persistence. Reap the rewards of your benefits. So you've been working very hard towards your goal, but at some point you have to take all you've done and benefit from it, right? So your angels ask you to honor your growth, reflect on something that you've been working on for a long time, and think about how far you've come. Really give yourself some credit for lessons learned, tasks accomplished, and fears faced. Give yourself a pat on the back, right? You close out a cycle. Somebody got off the fence. You use your throat chakra, right? So ear, nose, and throat. So give yourself some credit, like for real. There's been growth in that area. Remember, after the moon moved from Scorpio, it moved into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. That's the planet of growth and opportunity. Somebody has really grown in an area of your throat chakra. So somebody was moving by spirit, meaning you were not just in the physical realm. This is a real big deal. It may be seen like it's small to somebody, but I gotta give somebody, whoever I'm talking to, looking at this camera here, kudos, big kudos. A lot of times people don't give you kudos because they may not know, but this is a big deal. Remember, Earth is root chakra, right? That's the I am. So that means you had to move through emotions. You had to move through, these are the lower chakras. It's the physical realm, right? The physical body, astral body. The root chakra, right, where the seed was initially planted. The sacral chakra, that's the water, that's the emotions. The sacral solar plexus chakra, that's the I can do it. The I will and I can, right? where people may have been, you could have been burned out, stressed out, confused, I'm not sure, I can't, so whatever. Then you had to get to the heart chakra, right? That's the gateway between trying to make a connection, head and heart being at war with each other. I'm not really sure if I can, or if I can't. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if I can make the connection. I don't know if this makes any sense. I feel like I need more. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, when you're trying to close out cycles with energies that you love, it's like you dating somebody or you friends with somebody, and you feel like, okay, I've been around energies. I'm not sure if I can do this or not. I'm not sure if I can close out a relationship with somebody that I love. We've been dating. It hurts. I don't know if I can close out the cycle, right? But I deserve more. I deserve the best, right? Right? So the throat chakra, I had to have an uncomfortable, I need to get off the fence. I need to have an uncomfortable conversation. I need to be enlightened about some things. I need to have a conversation. I need to have a conversation. I need to just say it and just let the chips fall where they may, right? I need to have it. I don't need to just sit there, ear, nose, and throat, right? Just say it and give people a chance to process whatever they need to process, right? But you're saying it in love, right? Because you're being led by spirit, right? And give people a chance to process whatever, right? So, all right. So that's that. So new and exciting love awaits. New and exciting love could be, like I said, something kept nagging at you. Something kept pulling at you in the spirit realm. Just say it, say it, say it, say it. But say it in love, right? So you do it. All right. Here we go. Let me see. Let's get these pink cards going. And whatever it was, we'll find out what it was in the cards for some of you. Remember, this is general reading, so it could be anything. But that's where you want to slow down and take your time and give yourself a pat on the back and give yourself some kudos. It could have been anything for asking your manager for a raise, and you could have been terrified, teeth chattering, knees knocking, about to buckle, anything. It could have been asking somebody out for a date, man, woman, don't really matter. It could have been something like finally deciding to go back to school. I mean, that seed was planted in your spirit for a reason. It could have been anything. You finally just did it, right? Don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Get your rest, right? Listen to your inner voice, right? Somebody has not been completely honest with you about something. Time to ground yourself, right? Prepare for an increase in pay, right? Treat yourself to a spa day if you can afford to. If you can't, spa day could just look like taking a bath. Put some sea salt in there, right? Follow your heart. Your bitter ex-lover wants you. You don't want nothing bitter in your life. So your enemy's plan backfired. The enemy is within, right? So your inner child is proud of you. Yeah. So remember, above the heart chakra is the throat chakra, right? So follow your heart. You spoke up. Somebody spoke up about something. You have the gift of telepathy. That's a transference of thoughts, feelings, or ideas. That's whether it's emotively, intuitively, superconsciously. But I see you being booked and busy, not bitter and burdened. Right? So again, you're learning how to not overthink things, but you're kind of going at your pace. Hopefully this makes sense to somebody. You're learning how to go at your pace, but not overthink it to a point where you're just almost like heart palpitations, fear, anxiety ridden. You're just gonna, okay, I'm going at my pace, I'm getting some fresh air, and that's where it's like at the heart of things. I'm getting out and getting some fresh air. I need to make use of some elements. I need to go out for a drive, go for a walk, get out in the water, out in that sunshine, so I can think. Whatever works best for you. You're an earth sign with air, getting some fresh air. Whatever works best for me, where I can get my brains together. I can think, right? But everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, right? Somebody is still telling lies about you, but you don't care. Because what is it? You're not trying to control the way other people think about you, right? You made a positive impact on them, and that's all you're focused on, right? Don't cast your pearls before swine. That's scripture. So, yeah, have no control over what people think about you. Some people want to have negative thoughts about you because they're trying to control how you think about yourself. Give it no energy, none, zero, zip, zilch, not even 0.001%. Give it no energy, none whatsoever. Close it out. Number 11. Number 11 means get off the fence. You've been enlightened. People gonna think what they want to think. Take it with a grain of salt and go take a salt bath. For real. Cleanse that energy. Cleanse the energy. Let it see it drain. Go down the drain. You've already cleansed it. You're planting some brand new seeds. All right. Yep. Lovers card. Lovers is not always about lovers. Lovers about making a decision to be in harmony with yourself. This is duality, divine feminine to divine masculine. This is one whole person. This is you seeing things from a higher frequency. That's it. This is all one person right here. Making a decision to love yourself. That's it. That's duality. Don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. There are going to be some people who will think that because you love yourself, you automatically have a new love in your life and, you know, like you can't be by yourself. You just hugging and loving up on yourself. That's it. Focusing on pouring into you, doing the things that you love for yourself. That's the frequency that they're on. When people automatically think that you can't be by yourself because you automatically are in a new romantic relationship, that is the frequency that they're on. Give it zero. When I say zero energy, zero energy. Plenty of people travel by themselves, go to dinner by themselves, taking plays and movies by themselves. Plenty of people are that secure with themselves. They would rather wait right until they know how to sit down and put the list together themselves because they have gone through that traumatic of experience. Right? Somebody has new and exuberant love coming across their path. And a new exuberant love can literally be, hey, I'm going to sit by myself. I'm going to go to my friend's wedding. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'll be that person that's going to support everybody else and go to their stuff. What you need help with this, you need help with that, you need this and that. I'll be there to support people until I am ready. Till I can take notes. Here we have the 7 of Wands. Yep. So you're closing out cycles. You can defend your decision to move on from something without even coming across as defensive. Somebody is not in a rush to get married. Somebody is not in a rush to get married. Somebody is really just kind of saying, taking some notes. You have a lot of ideas about some things, but you're not rushing. Somebody is not rushing to get married. Yeah, you're not rushing. Somebody has seen what it looks like, what can happen when you rush into things. It can look like a complete and total disaster. Somebody is slowing down and taking their time. And also, somebody could feel like somebody has heard that people think that people are on a high horse, and that's not really it at all. For you, you're not on a high horse at all. You're not on a high horse. That's people's judgment of people who slow down and take their time. I feel like for you, you're trying to get your steps together, and that's it. That's it. Trust and believe, Capricorn. There are people who get it. There are people who get it. There are enough human beings out here that's been married enough times who are just saying, you know what? And a lot of people are very transparent. They're not embarrassed. They're just transparent. They're just like, okay, it's not for them. They've tried it 11 times. It's not for them. They make jokes about it themselves. That's how not embarrassed they are. They just make jokes about it themselves. It's like, okay, it's just not for them. Right? But a lot of it is breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. And that's what somebody just says, it's just something that's just not for them. Sometimes you try something, you just say it's not for you. Right? Yeah. You're a prayer warrior. You're a prayer warrior. You're praying about something, right? And some people feel like, it's their way or the highway. You may have tried something, but something is not for you, right? Somebody don't like fighting all the time. Somebody's not going back to something. Somebody may have tried something, but something is just not for you. Something is just not for you. Somebody made a decision, something is just not for you. Yeah. Somebody just has a temper. You're seeing things from a higher frequency, and something is just not for you. Yeah. So here's the Two of Wands here. So looking at your cards here, somebody has deep emotions about something. Somebody has, you know, deep emotions about something as deep as the sea. And somebody just either tired of arguing about something or fighting, whatever it is. Somebody has, you know, some deep emotions about, you know, hearing about people, talking about people behind their backs, or traveling, or, you know, somebody just has some really deep emotions about people lying about people behind their back, or hearing about people, just whatever. But here we have the Princess of Swords. Yeah, or people being like they high on their horse or think they better than somebody, whatever it is. And somebody just knows that some people are just like trying to master their craft. They're a hardworking person and just mastering their craft. So somebody just knows that something is the total opposite of something. So I feel like you know, you all are a very hardworking zodiac sign. So a lot of people think that about you all. A lot of people think, and I'm talking to wherever Capricorn is in your birth chart. Somebody's just tired of just fighting, you know. You're not going back to even trying to prove to anybody that people assume things just come too easy for you all. Right? It's just kind of it's just like it really is a form of master manipulation. It really is. It's a form of master manipulation. It just makes you not even want to be around people. It makes you just want to get as far away from people as fast as you can. Yeah. It's like things are just not moving fast enough for you to be around people. So you're trying to master something. You're trying to take in things and download and master something. And it's just like people are trying to master your emotions. Like they're trying to, whoever these energies are trying to master your emotions. I don't know if it's in personal or professional life, but yeah. And you're trying to master your own emotions by trying to process some things. Yeah, it can be hard. So you're celebrating something by learning how to master your own emotions. Yeah, but something is nostalgic for you. Something is nostalgic for you. Something is nostalgic for you. Somebody's kind of going back to a time that was nostalgic when somebody used to maybe get ice cream. Or maybe like, you know, maybe go to the park or something, get ice cream, or smoothies or something like that. It looks like ice cream or smoothies, or like go to a park or something like that. Maybe when somebody was a kid. Somebody just kind of like, just going back to some memories. Yeah, but you're definitely not a fool. You're not a fool. Somebody is just now learning how to process really just kind of sort of how the Lover's card connects us with Gemini, right? So we're not talking about any Geminis that you know. When I talk about zodiac signs, I'm also connecting you with the houses for those of you all who are trying to learn too. Gemini connects us with third house, and this is early education, really just like how you learn, like how you process. Like you're intelligent, you're a very intelligent sign, but third house is all about intelligence, early education, sibling interaction, like logic, reason, how you communicate, taking short trips, hobbies. Somebody's like kind of connecting with like the things that you used to like to do as a kid, right? Knowing that you're not stupid, that you're not a fool, you know, just like what, remembering that you really are a prayer warrior. You know, just kind of going back and just like how you learn. You know, just how you learn. Really how you learn. That's something is nostalgic to you. Just like you just kind of going back to just how you learn. How you process things. Right? And so somebody is really determined to do their shadow work. Somebody is really determined to do their own shadow work. And just work on, and you by now you know what shadow work is, so you're determined to do your own shadow work. So anything that let me put some more cards in here. something that you feel like, you know, I was introduced by Carl Jung. You know, just like that part of yourself that's like repressed desires, fears, wounds, instincts. Like your Chiron, Chiron. WikiHow is really, really good too. Like it shows you like illustrations. You do need your time of birth to know, right? But you know, so many people are so focused on pulling out the worst in people that they almost make you feel like everything about you is bad, right? You know, the working on your shadow self. Some of the tools you can do is like journaling. You can do mirror work. You know, inner child healing, guided meditation or hypnosis, therapy or coaching, tarot or oracle reflection, dream analysis. You can do like some prompts. You can do like what childhood experience still influences how you react today. What do you fear others might discover about you? Right? There's something about you don't need to be rushed into anything. Like you need steps. Like if you feel like somebody's rushing you into marriage or rushing you into a relationship or rushing you here and there, like somebody really likes to take their time and slow down and you know, those kind of things. And sometimes you feel like you're being rushed or you're under pressure. If you feel like, for instance, without saying, since we have this Chariot card here, let's say you grew up in a family and every time you go to a family function, everybody's looking behind you, like almost looking past you. Oh, when we gonna see a husband or wife come through the door? When we getting an invitation to a marriage or a wedding or whatever? What if you don't want to get married? What if you just want to be single? But there's that pressure there. Or every single time you go to a church or mosque or temple, everybody's in couple, or you coming in single, you getting the evil eye. Somebody grabbing their husband or wife, you know, tighter because people think that you want their person and you don't even feel safe or comfortable in an environment. You can come in a potato sack and somebody's looking at you up and down. You don't even feel safe, right? If you're learning how to see something from a higher frequency, or you feel like, you know, if you come in there, you know, dressed a particular way, somebody's already judging you before you even sit down. Or judging a parent before they can even sit down. They don't even feel safe. You don't feel safe with them. People talking about them behind their back. You know, they familiar with this and familiar with that. They must be a part of this community or whatever. So you're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. So you're on top of things. So I feel like you have a guardian angel. You have a guardian angel, both in the physical sense and over, you know, spiritual sense as well. But yeah, so somebody is no longer talking about money or material things with other people, or what kind of work people do from now on, because people are just judgmental. People really believe that they're people's judge, jury, and executioner. They do, for real. No matter how much of a connection you make with things, people really feel like, you know, or you're not, familiar spirits, they don't have to know a full anything about anything. They just take stuff and run with it. They're looking for a reason to compete, compare, judge, extinguish people's flames, lie on people, hurt people, the whole 9 yards, and turn around and use it against you to burn you in the end. If they can't control you. So here we have Queen of Cups. Show no compassion whatsoever. So Source is trying to teach you to show compassion for yourself. Show yourself some compassion. They'll mirror compassion as long as they can control you. Like I said, if it's their way or the highway. But as soon as those energies can't control you, they will turn around and turn their heat up until you are completely evaporated. So Source is saying to you, you know, you're getting a message of some good news coming through. And the good news is from Source, that you are studious, that you have something new coming in that's going to separate you, you know, from some energies, right? Yeah. So you may have experienced some financial loss, and that's okay, right? You may have experienced some financial loss because of two energies, because of the seeds that were planted. But is it really a financial loss, right? Well, what you gained really was some spiritual knowledge, right? All of it is energy. You may have lost some financial loss, but you've gained some spiritual knowledge. Right now, the source is balancing some things out for you. So if somebody has new and exciting love awaits, and again, that's yours. So source had to balance you out. Source had to balance somebody out. Source had to balance you out. And now this is leading you to financial independence, right? Financial independence. So you're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. You're a prayer warrior. You're balanced out. You're making a decision to leave behind a lot of distractions. You're treating yourselves to a spa day. Again, spa days are also about even taking a bath. That's it. Bath or shower, right? So here we have Six of Pentacles. Money is coming across your path, right? But you're not paying people any mind. You're not paying people any mind. Yeah, so you're not. That's, again, time is money. You're not paying people any mind who are determined to, you ask you about money, ask you about, basically ask you your business, trying to get familiar with you too fast. That would be equivalent to somebody coming up to you on the street, asking you a bunch of questions about you. They just met you, asking you a bunch of questions. Seem like they warming up to you, trying to ask you a bunch of questions. Even family members that you haven't talked to in a long time. I'm talking, oh my God, you haven't seen them in years. All of a sudden they ask you a whole bunch of, last time we talked, so-and-so. That's what they remember, okay. That's who they getting information for. Even family members, you haven't talked to them in a long time. So source is saying you're preparing for a pay increase in pay. Yeah, because again, somebody had to learn a lesson. Then you learned the lesson you needed to learn, right? So work through your fears. Work through your fears. Work through your fears, right? So this is like I said before, somebody had to go through a spiritual rebirth. You went through a spiritual rebirth. Went through a spiritual rebirth. Let me see. I think that's it. Yep. You can now put a manhole cover over the past. Okay, manhole cover over the past. Let me see. I think that's it. Yep. Keep your vibrations high. Yep, keep your vibrations high. So somebody, like I said, has love and money coming across your path, right? Love and money coming across your path, right? Yeah. But you're definitely not a fool. Definitely not a fool. Right. Something has come full circle for you all. Something has come full circle for you all. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this has been helpful. I think this is it. I think this is it. But yeah. Is this it? Yeah, sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the egos. Yeah. One of the reasons why somebody can see things from a higher frequency as a prayer warrior is that somebody had to complete a cycle. You had to complete a cycle, right? Remember Scorpio, and we're not talking about a Scorpio, just so we're crystal clear. Scorpio is rules 8th house, right? And Scorpio is ruled by the Judgment card, which is the outermost planet, right? Pluto, I believe, is retrograde right now, but it also is ruled by the Tower card. So when somebody is impulsive, or jumps to conclusions about something, and before you pray about something, then you're thrown into a cycle. So somebody may have pulled you into a cycle during a Saturn return, right? So a Saturn return could have been through, if you were going through a divorce, or somebody else was going through a divorce, or a major move in your life or somebody else's life. Somebody could have pulled you into their karmic cycle. And you may not have even known it, right? So let's say a friend was going through a divorce, or a friend was going through a major move, and they pulled you into a karmic cycle, and you didn't even ask what was going on, and you thought, source wanted you to ask questions like, what's going on? I need more clarity on something, right? You didn't ask. You were being pulled right into this cycle and didn't even know what was going on. So, yeah, that's what source wants somebody to start doing, is like asking more questions. Start asking more questions instead of, edging God out. Asking more questions. You're a prayer warrior, asking God for clarity. I need more clarity on something. I need more clarity. Start asking this. Make a decision. This is the decision. I love me enough to ask questions of everybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care if you're my mom, dad, grandparents, and great-grandparents, my adult kids, sister, brother. I don't care. Notepad in hand. I got this question, this question, this question, this question, this question, this question, this question. I got all these questions for everybody. Lottie, Dottie, everybody. I got all these questions for everybody. For everybody, for real. I got all these questions. And it's okay to ask everybody, because people will tell you what they, hopefully people will tell you what they know. And as long as you've been around people, some people will get mad that you're even asking questions. Some people will tell you what they know. But at this point, you know everybody, how people are going to respond. Tell you what they know. But treat yourself to a spa day. But it can be frustrating when you keep asking and asking and asking and you're not getting anything. That's why some people just move on. Some people just say, you know what, I'm tired of asking, I ain't asking no more. Either you don't know or you won't tell me. So either or, time's up, moving on. But that's what I have for you. You're putting the past behind you, and I see you operating, like I said before, somebody's throat chakra is you got, like I said, you got some good news. Somebody's definitely determined to do their shadow work, and that's always good news. But that's major right there. Throat chakra, that's major. So somebody really should be giving themselves a pat on the back. You're no longer carrying other people's rushing on your back. Who are rushing you into something? Nope. You got questions. You're not rushing into anything. I don't care what it is. Nope. So that's what I have for you. This is what I have for you. If you have any questions, if you want to schedule a reading, my information is down below. But yeah, you made a positive impact on quite a few people. Positive impact on quite a few people, and you will continue to do so. You'll continue to do so. But your inner child is very proud of you. Let me see if there's anything else. Don't catch your pearl before swine. Let me see. I'm telling y'all, this right here is going to be real good for you. People still telling lies about you, but you don't care. For real. You not caring is going to be real big. It's going to be real big. But there's some people right now that's going to believe something about you. And they will tell lies about you behind your back. But hey, that's their karma. For real, that's going to be their karma. Them telling lies about you behind your back. But that's what I'm telling y'all. That karma, you not giving any air to it is going to hit them like a backdraft. Give no air to it. Think about it. It can't live without any air. It can't continue without. You're not giving. Don't answer to it. There's no air. No air whatsoever. That's what's going to frustrate some people. You're giving it no air. None. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Yeah. Hopefully this is helpful. Yeah, so, like I said, this is all of you. The divine feminine, divine masculine, and your inner child. All one person. You're in harmony and sync with yourself. That's it. So you are the new and exciting love that awaits. That's it. All right. Okay. Bye.